Hi, and welcome to the very first webisode of Living Better with Mast Cells, Autoimmune, and Chronic Illness. I'm Donna Kay, and welcome to my home in beautiful North Pole, Alaska. Today, we're going to be discussing diamine oxidase. It is an enzyme, which is also known as DAO. DAO is found in everybody's bodies, and it is in our gut. So it's all about gut health today. Histamine is broken down by two enzymes, DAO, diamine oxidase, which is found in the gut to reduce a histamine overload that's caused by food, and HNMT, histamine and methyltransferase, which is an enzyme found in the human body to help reduce histamine in the overall body. But for today, we're just going to be discussing DAO. Today I've set up an experiment for you and to demonstrate how DAO works in the human body and how having sufficient or insufficient amounts of DAO, which is diamine oxidase, affects you and how it can affect your health. The first jar represents someone with a DAO deficiency. The second jar will represent someone who has proper DAO levels, and the third jar shows how drinking smoothies, etc. helps with a DAO deficiency. Okay, so we're going to add our food. Well, now that our food has hit our system, our body's going to start producing histamine in order to digest your food. And as you can see, the water turns a very dark color. And then what happens is you have a histamine overload, it leaks out into your bloodstream through your intestines, and before you know it, you are stuck with a whole onslaught of symptoms. So what's the first thing we do? We go and we grab our meds to try to make us feel better. Okay? You can see it's already starting to lighten up. The meds have helped. But you can still see that it's still blue, so you still have a histamine going on throughout your body. The meds didn't quite cut it. But if you had a proper DAO level, what happens is the DAO is what your body is supposed to produce to neutralize the histamine that's in your gut. And as you can see, it's cleared everything up. And if you just give it a minute, the air bubbles are in the water, then the glass will be clear. If you use medicine only, it will clear up that excess histamine eventually. However, if you take a DAO supplement, it will help prevent excess histamine from building up in your system. Now, here we're going to look at someone that has proper DAO levels, okay? Now what we do is we add our food, we add our histamine, because as soon as it hits our gut, body's going to start pumping out that histamine again. And because we have proper DAO levels, the DAO neutralizes the histamine before it even gets a chance to build up in your system, and you have a histamine overload which leaks out into your bloodstream, causing you a ton of symptoms. Okay? So here's the second jar close up. First goes in the food, then goes in the histamine, because every time you eat, your body makes histamine to break down food. It's an essential part of digestion. You'll see there is still blue histamine in the jar, or representative of your gut, but you'll see there's no histamine buildup and no symptoms. Vitamins and nutrients are extremely important in order to heal. So, a lot of times what you need to do is have a smoothie. And I'll tell you why it's important to have a smoothie. When your body is extremely angry, this smoothie is already technically pre-digested for you. So when it starts to go into your gut, you may have a little bit of histamine, but because it's pre-digested, your body doesn't have to pump out all the histamine. So what happens when you add a smoothie to someone with a mast cell disorder or a DAO deficiency? Let me show you. Here again goes the smoothie, and look at there. You have no histamine overload. Here is a close-up of jar number 3. Because the smoothie is pre-digested, you can see that your body doesn't have to make extra histamine to digest the food, thus leaving you with far fewer or no symptoms. And that is how our bodies work when you have a histamine problem, a mast cell problem, or a DAO deficiency. Now, I've heard of people saying they can only drink Coke and eat Lay's potato chips. I've been there, done that too. The only thing is there's absolutely no vitamins and absolutely no nutrients. So yeah. Smoothies contain a variety of fruits and vegetables, which means they are jam-packed with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, essential to help your body heal and recover. So correcting a low DAO is actually pretty easy. You want to follow a strict specific diet where there's no processed foods, GMOs, dairy, gluten, salt, sugar, soy, or anything that causes inflammation or allergic reactions. And you do want to eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. If you can tolerate, omega-3 can be extremely beneficial as well. And you also want to start a DAO enzyme and start taking that before each meal, no more than 15 minutes before you eat. By implementing these steps, you'll start feeling better in as little as a few days or a couple of weeks. I personally use the Neurobiolix, and that's GI His support, and this is basically DAO. There's other brands that you can buy on Amazon. So far I've liked this one. It's the biggest bang for your buck, I suppose you could say. Thank you for watching the very first webisode. Happy healing, love and light. God bless.